Didn't even get the thing in. So, what is happening, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Finn's Tailgate. I am your host, El Capitan, and thank you guys for coming to the Finn's Tailgate and getting down tonight. We're going to go through the new Tyreek Hill video that just dropped, go to an article about Mike Gesicki before that, and there was something else from the Miami Herald. I'll have to dig it back up. But, guys, on your way in, make sure you're hitting the like button. If you're watching from Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, do us the favor. Come over to YouTube. Subscribe to the channel over here. Shout out to all the members, all the mods, everybody. I appreciate it. Got the scroll down there for you. Huge thanks to all you guys. Everybody who got here early in the chat, appreciate it. Who is in here first? What's up, Jordan? Color, California, Marino's Goat, Dolphin Don. Luis, what's up, buddy? Gator with them New Jays. Mr. Paul Q. Oh, Jordan Poyer is a safety. Sorry. I meant to put DB, but whatever. I'll go back and change it. No big deal. MB41. Mike, what's happening? Familia, what's happening up in here? California. Miss Fins, hey. LOL. Bleezy, what's happening? Thanks, everybody, for getting here. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Subscribing if you're not. Guys, make sure before we get going into some of these articles to always come back and check out all the great content we have here. Tonk 7 TMI Tuesdays, live between 9 and 10. Color doing some co-hosting on there for them. You guys can also catch Color Commentary. Doing it usually on Thursdays, sometime during the day. So keep your eyes peeled. Color likes to drop a daytime one on you every now and again. Saturday is Late Night Exhale with Ali. Ali's doing some family stuff. It is, that time of year, but he'll make up during the week, I'm sure. And then TFTG every night around 10, sometimes during the day when I can. help support the show, Cash App, Venmo. We really appreciate all the support, guys, from, the members and, the super chats, the donations. It helps the show grow. Thank you so much. You can also support the show through Fanatics, link in the description. We partnered with them. It helps the show, get on that level. Also, you guys can grab some of our swag in there. Make sure to check that out. Link is in the description. And we're also partnered with Backroom Collections. So if you guys are looking for some really cool gear, some one-of-a-kind pieces, go check out Backroom Collections. Link is also in the description. And if you find some good stuff you want to buy, use offer code #TFTG, and you'll get 10% off your purchase. So, all right, come here. My niece wants to come up and say hi. She's excited because her uncle does YouTube. Little kids that love the YouTube stuff. This is Charlotte. Say hi, Charlotte.
Hi.
There, get in front of the mic. Say hi.
Hi.
Say thank you to all the members.
Thank you for all the members.
And thank you for all the subscribers.
Thank you for all the subscribers.
And make sure to hit the like button.
And make sure to hit the like button.
Okay. I love you, baby. All right. Go watch. You can go watch, okay? She's excited. So, to a little kid, YouTube is the big time. And there's this stream thing in there. And that's, it's my little uncle's. So I love her. That's not my daughter. So, it's my niece. I do have a daughter, though. She's a pro. Yes, she is. She's actually been on the radio a couple times, and she's met the governor. She's also met 2 congressmen. She's going to be getting an award for something here directly. When it comes out, I'll tell you guys about it. She's a little superstar, that one. And I'm glad to ask her QB1 is. No. She don't care color. So, but what's happening, everybody? So first thing before we get to the interview with Poyer, I wanted to go over the deadline coming and going and no moves happening. Daniel Foussier for the Miami Herald wrote an article about Mike Gesicki, not a long-term deal reached, and that he's going to play this season on the franchise tag. I had no what's up, Marty? I had no indication. Bentley, what's good, buddy? I didn't hear anything that there was a deal being worked out. I didn't hear anything about a trade being worked out. Speculation, I'm sure. And listen, doesn't mean that they won't trade him in season. I don't see how there's why would that make sense? Like, that's a good weapon. Like, to me, for the money you're paying for Gesicki, in the year he's going to play the best he can to get, the big contract that he's going to want to get, and rightfully so, try to earn it. There's a lot of incentive for him to put out, and I want Tua to have that weapon. I don't want to trade Mike Gesicki right now. I don't want to say irreplaceable, but irreplaceable to what he brings you from the tight end room. Yeah, he's one of a kind in that way with his, one-handed catches and stuff. So I can't see why the Dolphins would trade him. Now, if they did, okay, so here's what we're talking about in a scenario to trade Mike Gesicki. Okay, you keep him this 1 year. We'll create this scenario on the fact that he's only going to stay this 1 year, and we're going to lose him next year no matter what. So let's take it on that scenario. That if you trade him this year before the trade deadline, I think it's week 8. You do that because you're going to lose him, or you don't want to pay him, and you want to get as much value back that you can from him, and you're hoping that whatever value you get back, well, not hoping, you will make sure whatever value you get back will be greater than a compensatory pick you get for having him off the team next year. You're still going to get a compensatory pick if he walks next year. So why wouldn't you just keep him the rest of the year and let him walk and try to get the most out of him? So on the other side of that coin is exactly that scenario. Tua needs to do good. I want him to do good. Mike Gesicki helps that happen. Mike McDaniel needs weapons in this offense. Now, I know there's other weapons and Smythe and Hunter Long and stuff, but Mike McDaniel and Tua both have pressure. There's, read the papers. There's people gunning for the job. There's people gunning for the coaching job, the quarterback position potentially. The organization will look to somewhere else in both those instances. Mike helps make that go away in some capacity as a player. So doesn't make sense. Maybe get rid of him next year. Unless somebody goes, hey, if somebody has a player go down, say Green Bay is a good one to me because it just makes sense. But say the Packers are willing to give you a first for Mike Gesicki, well then deuces, get that first round pick. I like that. But other than a haul, I don't think so. I think they'd want to see what Mike does. I also think in today's back office between the Dolphins, they make good on their word and go look no further than Emmanuel Ogbah in the same position Mike Gesicki was in last year, waited out, took a team-friendly deal, and is happy to be here. That scenario could play itself out again for Mike Gesicki. I also like to get that capital, though, too. So they could go either way. But I just don't see the value when you need so much. The expectations are so high. If you get rid of a talent like Mike Gesicki, you better be right. So if they got rid of Mike Gesicki and we're one game out of the playoffs, can't help but feel maybe that wasn't be the case if Mike was there, or at least that narrative can be written. What's up, Canes 1989? What's up, CT? Shake Money in the house. What's good, bro? Who else was here? Joe, what's good, homie? So yeah, let's check out this article here. Miami Herald, Daniel Foussier, titled Dolphins Don't Reach Long-Term Deal with Mike Gesicki, who will play season on franchise tag. The Miami Dolphins and Mike Gesicki failed to reach an agreement on a long-term deal ahead of 4 p.m. Friday deadline for players with franchise tag. The 26-year-old tight end, man, you forget that he's only 26 years old, right? Wow, he's still really young. Will play his 2022 season on a one-year tag worth around $10.9 million. The Dolphins in March placed the non-exclusive tag on Gesicki, preventing him from reaching free agency and giving both sides more time to discuss details of contract extension. A week later, Gesicki signed the franchise tag. He said this, "I am absolutely open to negotiation, but not really up to me, as a lot of this is not," Gesicki said back in April. "I just kind of got to go with the flow. If they reach out, my agent will be listening." That's what's up. That's up to them, honestly, he later answered when asked about not receiving a long-term deal bothering him. "I have a good relationship with general manager Chris Greer and senior vice president of business operations Brandon Shore and this new coaching staff. Maybe that has something to do with it. I'm not sure, but I don't really have the answers, but I do know the kind of person that I am and the worker that I am. I'm just going to go back out there and continue to do what I do, continue to improve, make plays, and help this team win football games and eventually get compensated for it." He has the right attitude, and he balls out this year. Inflation go up. He might get rewarded with extra, So Gesicki set career highs in receptions, 73, and receiving yards, 780 in 2021, and is regarded as one of the better pass catching tight ends in the NFL since entering the league as a 42 overall pick in the 2018 draft. Gesicki caught 199 passes for 2,255 yards and 13 touchdowns, or has caught that amount. That's his career stats up to this point. However, the hiring of Coach McDaniel in this new offense asks tight ends to block frequently, which isn't really Mike Gesicki's strengths. has placed on his future that has now placed his future in Miami in question. In 2021, Gesicki asked to pass block just 11 times out of 827 snaps. According to Pro Football Focus, he ranked 34th among tight ends with 234 run blocking snaps. According to Next Gen Stats, Gesicki lined up at wideout or in the slot 79% of his snaps. Only 18% of his snaps came from the tight end alignment, which, if you guys remember, is why the conversation when there was talk of him maybe getting the extension for the team, that he wants to be paid as a wide receiver. I mean, 79%, yeah, but it's a dicey thing one way or another. Mike Gesicki has a lot of use, as you guys know, but in this scheme, it is going to ask him to do other things. Who knows? Maybe Mike Gesicki, who does look a little beefier these days, married life putting some pounds on him, I think in a good way too. Maybe he figures it out. Maybe he, is able to chip better or even block fully as, a lead blocker better. Maybe he levels his game up and can earn the money he wants to be paid with the Dolphins because he becomes irreplaceable in this new system. Maybe Mike McDaniel figures a completely different way to use him than we even thought about using him. That might happen as well. But I think taking away a weapon at this point, unless someone's willing to give you a haul, it's just not going to happen. And it doesn't make sense to. Expectations are far too way high for everyone in the organization. So I'll continue. In 2021, Gesicki was asked to pass block. Oh, no, wait a minute. For comparison, fellow Dolphins tight end Durham Smythe, Gesicki's draft mate, who was re-signed to a 2-year, $7 million deal this offseason, had 90 pass blocking snaps on 322 run blocking snaps in 2021. Smythe lined up at wideout or slot only 20% of the times and had a tight end alignment of 74% of his snaps. However, Gesicki, along with McDaniel, have downplayed questions about Gesicki's fitting in this system. McDaniel had this to say. He's been as impressive as any player on this team in terms of going after a challenge, McDaniel said about Gesicki back in June. You guys could probably rattle off the stats, but 3-point stance wasn't his primary position, and he's been working on it diligently in the run and pass game to do things in this offense that this offense can feature without taking away the stuff that made him who he is. And there is a piece of that in this offense. So here's McDaniel, and I'll continue here in a second, saying that there's a role for what Mike can do. And yeah, they're going to ask him to go out of that 3-point stance and in this blocking scheme. And Mike's a pro. He's going to try his best. We got to see what he's got. And he might warrant big money. We're always tailoring what we do to the skill set of our players, McDaniel continued. He's really attacked it with full vigor and has done a great job of working his footwork in the run game. I'm hoping that carries over to pads when it happens, in this month. Gesicki was a frequent attendee during the team off-season workout program, and a lack of long-term deal is not expected to impact his attendance at training camp. Dolphins veterans will report to team's practice facility on July 26th. Since Gesicki is signed to the franchise tag, he's technically under contract and would have a failure of his contract, and they would get fines if he didn't show up. So there's other contracts. They go into some other stuff, but I think was set by Emmanuel Ogbah. This was a big question last year. With Ogbah, and maybe we'll lose him because he's able to go into free agency and yada yada yada, but it worked out, and I think the Dolphins can say, hey, look, Ogbah waited, we took care of him, do what needs to be done. We'll take care of you. And if they are good on their word and Mike does what he needs to do, I don't see any reason why he doesn't stay on this football team unless money gets off the rails. I just can't see how there's no flex in the negotiation to the output. You got to see what the man can do in this new system. And you got to give McDaniel every opportunity to be successful in this system. And Tua, we need him to be successful. I don't want any excuses. Tua, we didn't get there. Tua didn't look good. They took away Gesicki right when he was looking good. I don't want any of that. I want this team to have everything they got. I don't see their Kane's 89. You say, is he worth the money? This gonna be the year we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if he's worth the money, and he gonna prove it. That's the best news about it. It's only costing them $11 million, which is still a lot of money. It's a prove it year, and that's what the franchise tag is for. And we're going to see. He had his best year in 2021. Wasn't as good last year, as we know. Seen him drop the ball a couple times in the red zone. Systems changing. Can he change with it? Who knows? So let's keep him around. What? Von Joe don't like Agba. He crazy, Von Joe. Crazy, bro. We'll get to that other article later. I'm excited to watch this interview. Want to break it down. Want to check it out. I watched a little bit of it. What's happening in crypto, but not nearly enough. Let's go ahead and bring up the Tyreek Hill interview. All right. Here we go.
Yo, welcome back to another It Needed to Be Said podcast show. I'm sitting here with my boy, co-host Julius Collins. How you feel today, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Ready to get this thing rolling. How about yourself?
I feel great, man. The show has been doing great. I look great. My bank account look great. So it's another day. It's another day in paradise, as I could say, man. But today we got a special guest for you guys, man. I had a chance to play against him. I'm a huge fan of his work. He's a ball player, plays hard, all pro player. So today's show, we're gonna have the one and only. I think he's one of one. None other than Jordan Poyer, man. Jordan, what's up, man? How you feel?
I feel good, man. Thanks, Rick, for the introduction, Julius. Appreciate y'all boys for having me here, man. Just feel truly blessed to be here in this situation right here. My bank account probably don't look as good as yours, but it's still up there though. So we living all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just blessed to be here.
Hey, before we get the show started, man, I just gotta say this, man. 13 seconds. That's all I gotta say.
Damn, you brought that in early, bro.
That's all I gotta say.
Dang, bro. Trash talk.
I should have introduced you like that, Mr. 13 seconds.
Damn. All right. That's.
I can follow that up.
Yeah, you can.
What were you thinking in those 13 seconds?
Look, man, I've had this conversation quite a bit. Everybody wants to talk about the coin toss this and the coin toss that. Obviously, as a defensive player, you got to make a stop, man. In those situations, you could tell that you guys have been in those situations before. You guys out-executed us. You guys outperformed us in those situations. And, it's something that obviously, I sit back and I think about, every other night or so, just pissed off at the fact that we let it slip away like that. But it's something that definitely fuels me in the off season, and I'm glad we get to see you twice a year now.
Ooh, I love it.
So Tyreek in your dreams.
I love the good trash talk. It's good, man. That's healthy trash talk. In division rivalry, it's good. That's awesome. I'm digging it. It's good. I was hoping that it wasn't going to be like a booty kissing contest. You know what I'm saying? They'd be able to just, I like that. They immediately, let's break the air. Let's do a little banter and stuff. It was the way to set the tone. Now we can get to some more serious conversation.
The boogeyman with the 13 seconds.
Yeah, I want to say the boogeyman.
They call me the Baba man.
But he is is the
Baba
bomb.
Yaga.
That's for sure. I mean, it's a guy you got to take the right angles, man. It's a guy. It's one of the hardest players in the game to play against.
I really appreciate that, man.
No, you are for real talk. It's just because you got to be right on everything. You know, you got to be right in your answer, you got to be right in your communication. You know, I only see it. There's a couple guys in the league I look at as you know, you got to be perfect throughout the entire game. I mean, you are definitely one of them. So you know, that's right to you and your craft and what you do.
I appreciate it, bro.
That's why the
I
trash talk start, and then it's all in good fun, man. Respect. You can have trash talking and fun banter and still have respect. Don't have to get so serious, everybody. Relax.
I will take all the flowers, but this show is about you, man.
These guys don't hate each
man,
other.
Where you grew up,
Yeah,
you know how you grew up and how you got involved with football, you know, and just
I started playing football in the 3rd grade, tackle football. My parents used to drive me probably 45 minutes or close to an hour to get to football practice every day. In the 3rd grade, just a sport that I grew up. I was just better at everybody in the town that I was in.
Talk your shit.
Yeah.
To be serious. All the people we didn't grew up with, I was just better than you. Know that. He looked in the camera and pointed at all of you.
For sure.
No, it was a sport that I enjoyed playing, man. I played quarterback. I loved running people over. I played defense. I loved hitting people. You know, I was a baseball player too growing up, so kind of stuck in between both of those. I was a really good baseball player growing up. I actually played both football and baseball at Oregon State, so I had a chance to continue to play baseball for a long career. By the time my junior year came, I really had to choose between one of the sports, and I always tell people there was a day we were on a route.
Huh.
I don't remember who it was. It was Robert Woods. That's who it was, and I jumped it, picked it, took it to the crib, and it was my sophomore year, and that was like that moment right there solidified my being
Crowd going
cool.
crazy too.
It was I mean, you know what it is, bro. It's just it's your moment.
So look, you rather have that moment.
That's awesome, man. He knows the moment that this was going to be real for him. That's pretty dope.
You know, over a grand slam.
1,000%, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can definitely see that, man.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you know what it's like, bro. Just that much you making a big play, bro. There's nothing like that in the entire world. You know, it's your moment in front of 60 people. Always so adrenaline. That's the best drug out there. I love that feeling in the game. I love those big plays that are
right. Green Rat. What's up, Green Rat?
That's why I love the game, man.
I got a follow up on that. So aside from you being better than all the 3rd graders at your school, right? We understand that was a moment for you when you were in college.
Mm-hmm.
But when did you actually fall in love with football? I know me and Tyreek, we talked about it before. When did you actually fall in love with the game?
I probably, that's a really good question. I've never been asked that question before, but if I'm actually thinking about it, it was probably when I was in high school. I was a freshman, and my high school football coach is gonna laugh about this. I was a freshman, and there was a quarterback. He was a senior on our team, and I was clearly better than him. Everybody knew that I was better than him, and he ended up starting the senior because of seniority or whatever. But it was like that off season, I kind of had that feeling that I continue to have today. It's just almost like an underdog mentality, and I fell in love with that. I fell in love with the process of being underdog mentality and being able to come and show people, like, look, this is what the fuck I'm about. Like, this is, I'm a ball player.
See, that's a good thing what you heard right there. You know, he's essentially saying he got politicked a little bit, and even people around him knew that he was better in the politics in him, but he didn't let it get him down. He didn't let him, push him in a dark place or feel defeated. He fought against it and rose above. I think everyone has to do that, not just in sports, but in life. You can't let people beat you down or try to corner you. You gotta rise above it, man. And that's pretty awesome. And he fell in love with the game in this struggle. It's pretty good.
You know what I mean? I felt
freaking Julius over here with the killer questions always, man.
in love with that process. I fell in love with, the work that you put in to the game and getting receiving a reward from it. I fell in love with all of that, and that's why I continue to play the game today. That's why I continue to work in the off season, because I love those moments. I love that the bonding with the teammates. It's all the locker room stuff. So I think in high school it was kind of, I felt like I wasn't necessarily wanted in a situation but it was the love that I had going through the process of getting to that and basically giving them the middle fingers. Like, this is what I'm about.
I'm gonna probably get in trouble for this, Reed.
Well,
All the coaches quit starting seniors on senior night if they suck.
they really need
Like,
to.
that's just the honest to God truth. Like if they suck, they played 4 years and they haven't earned that starting position yet. Like
it needs to be almost like it almost needs to be like a Nick Saban rule. You know, Nick Saban, like
Right.
he don't play no games. He don't care if you're a 4-star, 5-star senior. You know, if he got a freshman coming in, he gonna play that freshman regardless. If he better, you know, if he putting it on tape that early, he finna put him in.
Right.
You know,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You know, to that point, you don't. Okay, I see the nice thing when you put someone because they're a senior in or somebody in because of status. You understand, like, you give them like their opportunities and stuff. But what is it? You're not helping everyone else out when we know that there's a better player to be there, but you're starting this one because of draft status or because you want him to have his moment or something like that. What about all these other guys that are sacrificing that have to take a L because of one person? It creates an animosity as well. So it's weird. So
matter what, go and throw him in the game. But yeah, man, I see it in you, dog. Like, you know, I like when I watch you play, bro, I'll be like, yeah, that dude, he done been cut a few times, bro. Cause like I done been like for real though, like I done been through the same thing though, bro. Like I wasn't given nothing in my life, dog, and you know that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I was in middle school, I could have played varsity, but obviously the older guys, you know, rule because of their seniority, dog. You know, like it's crazy, bro, and like that right, the fuel, and I see that like it fuels him the same way each and every day, like saying that I never go back to that place again, dog. I'm gonna try to be the best at this sport, and I'm gonna put everything I got into this sport, dog, while I'm young and active, dog. So shout out to you, bro.
No, I
you
appreciate
keep that mentality, bro.
So senior night. I know I digress for a second. I know you love the coach. Like if you know anything like about Tyreek, he loves the coach. He was coaching high school, right?
Yeah, I was coaching high school during my football season last year. Well, not last year, 2 years ago. So yeah.
So if you go back to coaching once you're done playing, senior night comes around, do you give that kid that Rudy moment?
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this, bro.
What a perfect way to put it. Do you give them their Rudy moment? Yeah, you kind of want to, you know. Man, now you're caught in like a paradigm. You want to like have somebody with the moment and stuff too. Like you want to give everybody their shot, but you don't want to let down the whole team because you're trying to do something nice too. Because that doesn't do anything nice for everybody who's worked so hard to get a win. It's a dicey thing, and especially in high school ball. It's easier in the NFL. You're like, hey, bro, people are making money. You cost some mofos money.
Design a way for kids to get in on senior night. I'm gonna put them on PAT field goal or something.
Nice.
That's a good way for them to get in. Or I can put them in like if I'm the basketball coach,
you put them in on
I put them in like the first position to run down, and then I call a timeout real quick.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like
he got to start though.
I know
he got it like for senior night, like this for his moment to just say
he can't just come in for a play. He got to start. He got to kick off, return.
Well, where we gonna put him at on kickoff? What? All those positions are key. They gotta fill their lanes. We can't put him on. We can't put him at R1. If we put him at R1 and then like he break,
it busts out.
He got to make a tackle. He lost land. Like
he ain't making no play.
Making no play.
I feel that.
Yeah. Also, you don't want to put someone in, like again, like you're trying to do something nice, and then the team beats you off of their person. Now everybody hates that guy. That's not cool. So I don't know. That's a dicey subject. That's coaching's a hard job when it comes to decisions like that to be made.
You put him at gunner, because if you put him at gunner, the vice gonna kill him.
Put him at receiver and just run play away from him.
You know what? That's a good idea. You know what that's what.
Let him cut off the corner on the backside.
Y'all really game planning. Y'all really game planning for this.
Trying to help my seniors out. You know what I mean?
Hey, we trying to help the seniors out, and we trying to get the parents off our neck. You know how they be.
Parents do be crazy at the high school game. My parents was never crazy, but right, shoot, there's some crazy parents. Y'all had some crazy parents at your high school games.
My mom was one of them. Yeah, it's crazy, man. So, did your parents play sports?
Yeah, man. My dad over there played football at Eastern New Mexico. My mom actually played. She started off at Oregon State and played softball there. She had a tragic accident happen at the school, so she transferred to Chemeketa to play basketball there. And she ended up transferring to Eastern New Mexico and started playing volleyball over there. So she went to 3 different schools and played 3 different sports. Um, I like to think, I got a little bit of my athleticism from her. So, but yeah, there was just some athletes.
Dang, nothing from dad.
Nothing from dad.
Just overlooked.
I got a little bit from pops. But I think our family was just everybody was. I mean, we were so competitive growing up. I always tell people the story of playing my mom in chess, and I probably maybe 12 years old. I put her in checkmate, and she absolutely was pissed off. She threw a chess piece at the board, and it came up and hit me in the eye and gave me a black eye for like 2 weeks.
You got to learn early.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
right.
What a personal story, right? That's holy cow, competitive.
She was locked in. She was locked in.
Wow.
Mama don't like losing. She was locked in.
Yeah, family don't like losing to the kids, but we were competitive. We grew up, we were getting in arguments, fights, bro, just over some dumb stuff.
Healthy competition is exactly that, healthy. Now, throwing your pieces around and giving people black eyes, that's not healthy. But then, I don't know. There's this movie, sidetrack here. There's a movie, it's called Bottle Shock. I've mentioned it before. But like the dad and son had a ring, a boxing ring. And sometimes they'd be angry and mad at each other, and they go get in the boxing ring and just fight it out. That was a healthy way. It's unhealthy because people don't want people to fight, but that's what they needed to do and healthy. Sometimes that has to happen as well. But I'm sure she didn't mean to give him a black guy with the piece. You know what I'm saying? But I like healthy competition. It makes everybody greater. I don't like people who are competitive against people who don't want to be competitive, because then it just gets to like nastiness sometimes. But that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about the family being competitive, and that's probably why he's a pro now.
Field. We got some funny stories, my brother, man. I'll tell you a quick one. 2 years ago, we were doing one-on-ones. No, 3 years ago during the COVID year, we were doing one-on-ones over in Lighthouse Point. All the gyms were closed, and me and him was out there. He played tight end in college, so just doing some work. And he runs his sorry ass like 7 stop. And he's so damn slow that he came out of his break and his head hit me right in the fucking face. And it was the first time I squared up to him, and probably since I was like, I think the last time I squared up to him, I had to be like 15 or 16 like that. But it was the first time I really squared up to him. I had to come my cool. But like, we go after it, bro. Like growing up, we used to get after it in the sand volleyball courts.
I can see that.
Two on two. Me, my dad, my brother, my mom, 2-on-2 volleyball. And I mean, it was some dirty. It was dirty.
Volleyball can get intense for a lot of people that don't know. Volleyball can really get intense, man.
Yeah.
For real. I mean,
people think we hate each other on the volleyball court. Like whenever we all go somewhere and you play, it don't matter who team you're on. I think people be like, bro, they probably go. All of them gonna fight after these games.
Oh, me, they be like, look, these guys are playing hard. Then we just go back to just drinking or whatever we doing, laughing.
But no, so that upbringing, do you think that's what made you so eager?
Definitely
so dedicated to the sport?
Definitely, Julius.
To be one of the greatest safeties ever.
Yeah. Oh well, I appreciate that. Holy shit, I ain't heard that one, but I appreciate.
They ain't gonna give me any credit.
Yeah.
I don't know sports.
That's all right. That's all right. It's cool to hear. But no, for sure. I mean, both my parents worked at a juvenile delinquent center, so I tried to get away with some shit in high school, whether I was sneaking out or whether I was doing some dumb shit. Every time I get caught, I remember my mom throwing me into one of the juvenile detention cells when I was 12 years old for like 15, 20 minutes.
Mama don't play, bro.
Mamas
don't play, bro. Team mom, bro.
I'm trying to tell you. Threw me in this cell for like 15 to 20 minutes, and basically it was like, Jordan, if you want to bullshit around, like this is where you're gonna end up. And I swore to myself, I was like, this, I will never. I mean, it's a tiny ass cell with this, one of them silver toilets, bro. The water coming out brown. I'm like, yo, I'm good, mom. Like, I'm gonna be good. I promise.
What's the name of that show now?
Scared Straight.
Scared Straight. Exactly what it was, for real.
She caught you early.
Miss Poyer done started Scare Straight and stuff.
She caught him early.
Nah, but I mean, they I always tell people, I try to get away with shit, but I there was a lot of stuff that they just knew I was doing. I'd get my truck taken away for months. Literally 2 months at a time, phone taken away for months at a time. So I was really, just focused on sports. That was really all I did. I played basketball, football, and baseball. And I was able to, work on my craft. My dad out there making me run hills. We call it Saturday Soldiers. Getting up, we go to the hill, and we just run hills, and we catch 100 balls, and teaching me how to catch the ball. And really, I think that early on, I think that early on, development and learning how to, just take responsibility. And getting up on a Saturday, I had a job in high school too. I worked at a golf course, so we played on a Friday night. I'd get up Saturday and Sunday morning at 5:30 and go to the golf course and fill the divots and do my job over there. But I think just having that early responsibility, having the parents that raised me the way they did, I think definitely for sure developed me into not only just the player but the person I am today. Especially after going through, I think we'll touch on it, some of the alcohol issues that I had early on.
So
wow. So I'm sure they're going to talk more about the alcohol issues, maybe potentially. I don't know. That's his personal business. It sounds like there's a lot of love and accountability in their family, which is good because that's what loved ones are supposed to do. They want the best for you, so they're going to be hard on you at times. That's, what a very personable interview. It's this man. They're shout out to Tyreek and Julius. This show is very good, very opening to a guy, Jordan Poyer, who I wouldn't know his story. I'm not a Bills fan, but he's on here and crossing some lines, especially with Dolphins and Bills fans. It's pretty interesting, man. I gotta say, this is really good.
Both of you guys, you and Tyreek, both of you guys are late round picks. Like, what was your mentality or thought process sitting and waiting, or whether or not your name got called that night, or whether or not you got a phone call the next day? What was that process? Like, what were you mentally feeling?
Yeah, it was anxious. I was anxious, and it really sucked though too, because I was told I was going to get drafted anywhere from the 3rd to the 5th round. So we had a big get together with the whole family the second day of the draft, and just seeing all these picks go by and not seeing your name. And then the day's over, and you had this big get together with the family, planning to get excited, and nothing happened. So I watched the third day in my bed. I was just pissed off. I probably drank that night and woke up hungover or something, and literally got the phone call from Chip Kelly in my bed. I was asking if I want to be an Eagle. Picks 218 in the 7th round. It was a long 3 days, bro. It was a long 3 days because I feel like you work so hard. I was all consensus All-American in college. I had 14 picks coming out, so it was like, I look back and I see maybe 1 or 2 DBs in that class that got drafted that are still playing in the league. Xavier Rhodes and Darius Slay, and so I got drafted as a corner, so I kind of look at those guys, but at the same time, like that's made me who I am, right now. Just still understanding, like, look, all these teams pass you, even getting cut from Philly, going to Cleveland. It's like all these teams pass you, they don't believe in you, so you gotta really find something deep within yourself to really want it. Going to the East Coast, that was my first time ever going to Philly, really even being on the East Coast. I'm 21 years old. Wow. I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, playing for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Them fans crazy too.
Crazy.
Them fans are rowdy over there, man.
Yeah.
I swear.
And I'm just trying to make it. I'm just trying to get on the team. I made the roster. I got cut week 6. They needed a roster spot for a running back. And I got cut. Cleveland picked me up off waivers, and that was that. But I mean, the draft was tough, man. Like I said, you see some of the guys that got drafted ahead of you, maybe playing 2, 3, less than that years in the league, and it's like, what are these guys actually fucking looking at? Like, what are these organizations looking at in some of these guys when they grade them at the combine, or they just see how high they can run, or how fast they can run, or how high they can jump? Put them out there on the football field and let them does he understand the game of football? That's a lot of my questions when I ask.
I hope they ask this question. Maybe Julius or Tyreek will, but I wonder that, if he did get drafted in the 3rd round and it came a little easier to him, would he have the career he has today? There's something to be said that he went in the 7th round and had to take the long road, the hard road, overlooked, kept at it, didn't get discouraged, and kept going. And I mean, well respected. I mean, I know who Jordan Poyer is. Have no clue his story. Didn't know he was a 7th round pick. I'm only aware of him because I've seen him play, and he's against him, and he's pretty good. But there's something to be said, the chicken and the egg, or the butterfly effect, if you will. If he was picked as the 3rd rounder, and things came easier to him, would he be another one of the guys that washed out because of the expectation, or because he earned everything he got, and now he has the respect he's earned rightfully? Everyone's going to give it to him because he took it. There's more than one way to skin a cat, so not saying that a guy picked in the 1st round can't live up to his 1st round status. It's just you never really know. And it's one of the biggest crapshoots. It's an amazing thing how all these guys are so super athletically gifted. What he said in the beginning of the video, that I was the best in my school. Pretty much, I would venture to say 99% of the guys in the NFL that played in high school were the best in their school, or top 2 at least, or so every layer it gets better and harder. And even though he had good college numbers, he was overlooked, and that was another harder thing, but he didn't let it stop him. That's respectable, to say the least. You got to respect that. And not saying that I root for that more or less, but it has to be recognized, those who climb from the bottom, to earn their respect, not to diminish those who perceptively had it a little easier. Success is success. Just a great story, though.
When I see some of these guys come into the league, it's like, can he understand the game of football? Like, because it's one thing to jump high or run fast or throw the ball far, but like, it's a different thing when you're out there, you're playing against Tyreek Hill, who's got Travis Kelce with him. It's like understanding the game within the game. That's a whole different level of football. And like I said, you see some guys come in, they have all this build, they have all this upside, but you put a playbook in front of them, and it's like the world is turning. And so I think that's where that one of my best attributes is being able to understand the game of football, understanding who I'm going against, understand their strengths and weaknesses, and then just playing to my ability. I'm not as fast as Tyreek, obviously. I'm not the fastest guy on the field, so I have to use what God gave me to, and that's the ability I can play. I'm a ball player, but I understand the game of football as well.
So that, to me, is the biggest difference in the NFL, because of what I just said. The 99% are all elite, in their own respect. The professionalism has to take over, where what he's talking about, understanding your duties, your opponent, and then also being honest and upfront with yourself in your limitations and what's going to work best for you to get the job done at the best of your abilities. And that's what he's talking about. He's not as fast as Tyreek, so he better not, be in a position where he's got to turn his hips to chase down Tyreek, because he's going to lose. So he's going to keep things in front of him. Good perception of himself. Smart.
Same mentality draft night?
Yeah, it was the same mentality for me, but I got a question for you. What do you think what do you think held you from being drafted 3rd to 5th round? Like, what was the draft specialist or whatever?
What's crazy is, okay, so you go to the combine and you run your 40, and as soon as you run your 40, obviously the times aren't in there. You go straight to your phone, right? And
right.
So my phone, the first 40 I ran to the 4.48, the second 40 I ran to the 4.46. So I'm hyped. That was
4.4.
That's 4.4.
Like, hey.
So you get to the official time, and the official time said I ran a 4.55. So, I mean, to where that balance, like how that balance did what it did, I don't know how I got a 4.48 and a 4.46 and it turned into a 4.55. Like, you can go on the combine, you can go on YouTube right now and type in my 40 time, and it shows the 4.46. And I think, where the team saw that and we're like, okay, and I never been blazing fast, dude. I'm like, don't let me be as fast as you. Oh my God. Like, maybe half as fast as you. Like, I might. Shoot.
See, I don't understand that either though, because our greatest players who play this sport, it's probably like two guys one guy who really runs a 4.2. Like I don't understand why these draft GMs and draft analysts are like, you gotta do this, or jump this, or run this, or throw this, to be able to consider great, man. Because if you look at Tom Brady, dude, 7th-round draft pick, right? Right, and look at him. He didn't do none of that, dog.
Right.
The way I look at it is, bro, these dudes be asking the wrong question, bro. Like they really don't be trying to like understand a person's background. Like they be asking weird questions. Like I don't want to say no questions that somebody told me, but they be asking some weird questions. They be asking some off the wall questions. Like if I was interviewing you right now, they'll ask you like, "Are you mad at me?" Like what? Like.
I've heard about this in the interview process with the NFL. I think it's a psychological thing. They want to see, it's not so much they want an answer to the question, they want to see your response. So, but you're projecting a lot of things. You're hoping to understand, to project the type of football player you want. So, but there's also something, people change. These guys get money, it changes them. He can be fast, but then he could, not take it seriously enough to put the work in to be the professional. So there's all these different factors. It really comes down to a lot of things in life outside of God-given ability, because, these are pro athletes. They've got God-given ability along with hard work and due diligence and, just whatever it takes. You got to want it. You want to be successful in life. You got to, understand your limitations, make a plan. I recommend you write it down because that's been proven to help people, and you go get it, and don't let people discourage you. And those that get in your way to discourage you, allow that to become your fuel to, not prove your doubters wrong, because you want to try to eliminate negativity in any way. You just got to keep doing you, man. Haters are going to come at you in every which way, and you can't let them try to drag you down.
Like what? Like
I don't know you.
I don't, bro. Like we just started talking. Like
right.
I want you, like, bro. Like to me, I feel like they really got to dig down to like see, like they really got to find guys like who really are true grinders, dog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like guys who are willing to go in, dissect the game the same way Jordan was trying to explain. You know what I'm saying? Because there are a bunch of guys who run a 4.2.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But for me, dog, I was able to learn how to run routes, learn how to look at the corners, look at the safeties, and be able to tell the defense quick, just like that. Because the safety is gonna tell me exactly what the defense is, dog.
Right.
Most 4.2 guys don't know that. They just line up and say, "Okay, do this." But for me, dog, I learned that whole defense. I know the fronts, I know the safeties, I know exactly where I need to be at in the exact spot that's gonna be open on the football field.
Tyreek Hill spitting facts here. And this is something, for the Mike McDaniel system. It's about dictating the safeties. You get them out of too high safety into single high, forcing one of them in the box with the run game, and then you go after them down the field. And that's how it's always done. So Tyreek Hill telling you guys essentially the best way to read it, well, especially from a wide receiver, but the quarterback too. You go, oh, that safety's creep down the box. They're only going single high in this set. Let's test them on the outside now.
You think that sets you guys apart?
Yes.
I would say both of you guys, because I know you said one thing that was important, Jordan. Understanding the game inside the game.
Right.
I know Terry, we talk sometimes, but you know half the stuff you say football go over my head, man. It's like he be like really locked in.
Right.
And it's like, all right, I'm with you until you got right here. And then that's the game inside the game.
Right.
That most people, even players, don't understand.
Mhm.
Like, how did you get to that level? And if you want to chime in, Terry, how did y'all get to that level?
I think it's obviously the experience and playing as many football games as him and I have played at the level that we played at. And I think it's a continuous learning process too. Like, I look back at the joke seconds, and you look back at those situations and you look back at, what could I have done differently? What could we have done differently? And, there's a coach used to say, you never lose, you learn. And so
Like that.
You know, how can I learn from that situation to do it differently next time? And it's that experience that when you're in that situation next time that you're going to be a lot more prepared for. You're going to be, you know, it's almost like, you know, hey, I've been here before, and you might not be in that same exact situation, but it prepares you for similar situations like that. And I think, you know, like you said, like that part of the game takes you to the next level. And, you know, I was watching the NFL films of that last 13 seconds, and it was literally just a communication between Pat and Kelsey in that situation. And it's those little things right there that obviously ultimately won them the football game. And I think I was talking to somebody else who played for Kansas City, and that wasn't even necessarily Kelsey's route. I think you guys were supposed to run a flood.
It was not his route, bro.
Yeah, so like I'm saying, like it's little things like that, like games within the game, you know. You know, for me as a safety, you know, being able to play with the quarterback, being able to connect eyes with him,
right,
being able to, you know, give him a look, and then make him just think about something just for a split second to give our rush time to get there. You know, it's little things like that. You know, you're not just out there cover 3-0. I got deep third. You know, just being able to understand all the pieces in front of you. And, you know, like Tyreek said, I know the fronts, I know the backers, and as a safety, you know, in our defense anyway, Mike and I treat it like we're the quarterbacks of the defense. Like we literally are the quarterback of our defense, and we have to communicate with we have to communicate with the corners, the linebackers, even the DNs and the tackles sometimes. So
they're really touching on to a lot of the nuances of becoming you know, great in the game. You can get a successful season, but now you've put all that on tape. Now you got to start thinking, okay, they're looking at me. They know I do this. I got to know that they know that. I got to bait them. You know, there's that famous play from Ed Reed when he intercepted Peyton Manning. And they talk about it where he's like, yeah, I knew that Peyton was watching my film, and that if he seen me do this like I've done before, you know, he was going to take the shot on the other side of the field. But here Ed Reed he did that to bait him and then roll his hip. He rolled his hips and came back across the other side of the field and intercepted the ball. Xavier Howard is somebody I think that does this a lot, as evident by his interceptions. He baits quarterbacks. People, there's like, I'm not even going to throw over there. We don't want to take the chance. Well, he's going to make you throw it to him because he's going to get you to bite. You're going to forget that he's there because you're like, oh, someone's out of position and throw it. You know, it's hectic. Quarterbacks, they got limited time back there. They got dudes in their face and stuff like that. They get, you know, it's a mistake by that. But it was only a mistake made by the quarterback because a safety or a corner or somebody is playing, you know, three-dimensional chess, for lack of a better term. Very smart. This is great. This is great.
I mean, I'm glad that he said it too, and he was able to, and we were able to bounce off of that, because I think that literally takes everybody's game to the next level, being able to understand the game within the game.
Mm-hmm. And you got to be different, bro.
Yeah, got to be different.
Bro. Everybody fast, everybody strong, everybody smart. You know? So you got to be able to find small pieces.
Got to be tricky.
Help you, you know, advance your game a little bit more than your competition.
Right.
You know, for me, I'm a smaller guy, but I'm faster. You know, so I gotta, like, when I go against a DB, you know, I wanna know everything about him. You know, so the week following the week before the game, you know, I have one of my young guys, you know, watch tape, you know, and he tells me everything about him. You know, I also watch tape too now, you know, and we kind of compare and we contrast. You know, so everybody's different. You know, some guys shoot their outside hand, some guys shoot their inside hand. Some guys like to some guys don't press at all. You know, some guys sit at, you know, certain yard depths, you know, so.
Got to be always growing, like, is what they're saying.
A lot of guys, I feel like, in the league, like, they don't want to spend time, you know, actually doing their job. Like, this is our job, to play football, you know, so I want to be able to be the best I want to be able to be the best player, athlete I can be. So I'm gonna use every advantage I can. So watching film, you know, getting to know my opponent, you know, getting on the same page as my quarterback, you know. So that's kind of what I do, man.
So it sounds like Jordan, you
got to kind of predict some stuff. You got to predict, you know, that I know Tua's tendencies. I know my tendencies. I know this guy's tendencies. So I got to try to, get tricky and stuff. They're talking about some next level stuff here. This is great insight, guys, because it's well beyond, and CB said it in his comment right there. It's well beyond going 5 wide in Madden. It's not that simple. People aren't machines or robots. And, don't underestimate your opponent, that he's prepared for what you're going to do. You got to evolve your game in that way and try to beat him in another way.
Yeah. Your willingness to sit down and continuously be a student of the game.
Yes.
And knowing the game was inside of the game goes back to the chess match when your mom hit you in your eye with the chess piece.
100%.
You didn't want to lose. So now you have to know your opponent, and know what their response to the reaction time is going to be. Like Tyreek was saying, the different mannerisms, so you know what play they're running, potentially 100%. Which play they're running.
Right. I always use this analogy. It's chess, not checkers.
Yes.
Some guys are out there playing checkers. You can tell the guys out there playing checkers. Some guys are out there playing chess. I understand. Like, you'll get a, like, as a young defender, when I would get for example, I'd get a play call and it's 1st and 10, and they would run the ball, and they would say they ran the ball for 5 yards. Now it's 2nd and 5. Now the probability, okay, now they just got 5 yards. The probability, maybe a hard play action, maybe taking a shot. It's 2nd and short. Maybe they can take a shot, or they're 3rd and long. They're 3rd and long, backed up in the red zone. Like, the 3rd and 18, backed up in the red zone. Like, they're not going to try to get to the sticks right here. They're going to try to be safe and check the ball down so that they can try to flip the field and play defense. It's little stuff like that, being able to understand. That also, understanding who you're playing against too, or who you're playing with too. I like to think that our secondary is, we play together for a long time. So I know Tre'Davious, I know Micah, and I know when we get a call, it's like I already know what the hell he's gonna what he's gonna show, and so I can show off of him. Or it's vice versa. He knows what I'm gonna show.
Continuity,
playing off of me. So it's a lot of playing off of each other too.
That's why our defense is gonna just kill it this year as well. We already seen great things out of this defense. Continuity is only growing stronger, and insert a couple of young good star pieces in Holland and Phillips. Can't wait, man. Defense is, it's hard, man. It's reactionary, and they know what they're doing. You gotta hope to be able to figure it out in the 3 seconds the ball is going to be wherever it's going to be.
Yeah, man. It's like I said, it's all about that experience too. Like, played in the league a long time, and like I said, I look at it as like it's chess out there, not checkers.
I ain't gonna cut. You give us 3rd and 18. I'm Chiefs last year. And the Reed calling some crazy stuff. Listen,
I said backed up, bro. I hope I
pass it.
He passing that bitch.
But anyways, man, let's move on, man, to off the field stuff, man. Like, seeing that you had a post that you did last year. I believe it was last year. 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Yeah.
About your alcohol addiction. You mind sharing some of that. You know, how did you feel?
Wow.
Did you feel like you was obligated to do it, or did you feel like it was one of those moments where you were like, you know what? I feel like I'm gonna be helping somebody, dog.
Yeah, I mean, shoot.
Wow, I didn't know this about Poyer. This is good stuff right here. For him to, their athletes are such larger than life figures, and they're the super people that are amongst us. They're super people. They do things that regular folks physically can't do. And for him to bring his personal stuff and his shortcomings as a human, humanizes him. And wow, what a strong thing for him to admit. And now getting ready to talk about it. And let's be real, guys. Addiction of some form has touched everyone's family in some way. And everyone deserves the chance to grow. Everyone deserves the chance to get better. And you can get mad, get upset and stuff like that. And that's okay too. But love will heal that. You got to handle that with love. I can't wait to hear this part. I'm very excited to hear this. This is great.
Dude, where do I start and how much time we got? Because I'll try to keep it in a shorter version. I mean, Look,
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've been sober for 2.5 years. Had a drinking problem for a long time, longer time that I actually realized, at the time of realizing that I had an alcohol problem. I look back and probably all started when I was in college, just being around being around the type of people that I was around, and it wasn't bad people. It was like I told y'all earlier, I was a little. You could say I was a little sheltered in high school. I didn't really get out much. I didn't really get to enjoy the party scene. There wasn't a whole lot of party scene where I'm from, but once I got to college, it was like whoa.
Big
Like,
world.
it was like the whole world had opened up. You know what what it is, bro. You get to college your freshman year, it's you walking on campus. And I mean we were partying all the time. And for some reason, every time we went out and drank, I always had to be the most lit. I always had to be the one that was kind of like the vibe of the party, make sure everybody else was the most lit. Like, hey,
Gotta
another
be
shot.
the best at everything, bro.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Why? That's for real. Look,
That's
that's
true.
a great point.
Gotta be
That's
the
a great
best.
ass
Gotta
point.
be the best at everything. Why not?
Yeah. That competitiveness.
So yeah, that kind of carried throughout my college career. I don't know how I was getting away with it, going out and then getting up 6 o'clock lifts, runs. But I was just going through with it. I got to the league and my problems didn't change really. I just had a little bit more money. I was able to go out and do whatever the hell I wanted. Like I said, I went to Philly for the first time. That was my rookie year in Philadelphia. And I don't know if you guys have been to Philly, but right outside the stadium, they got that spot called Xfinity Live, like right in the middle of the baseball stadium, the basketball field, or the basketball stadium and the football field. And so it was literally after every other practice, every practice or every game, we were going out to Xfinity Live drinking. And I always tell people, look, at that time in my life, I was drinking because it was fun. I was drinking because that's what everybody was doing. And it really got to a point where in my career, I didn't start really until my first year in Buffalo. I got hurt in Cleveland in 2016. I lacerated my kidney
Ooh.
on a bullshit hit. I got done for the season week 6. So I think that's where my problem.
God, a lacerated kidney. That sounds painful. Makes my kidney hurt right now.
Nah, I think that's where my problems of me realizing that I was an alcoholic started, because after I got hit, I couldn't do anything for 4 months. I literally couldn't work out. I couldn't run. I couldn't do anything. My wife was pregnant at the time. So there was just a lot of shit going on and a lot of stressors that I wasn't trying to deal with. And now instead of using alcohol for fun, instead of going out and drinking, instead of, I was coming home and I was taking the bottle down. After practice, I remember going to the store, just grabbing my drink of choice was just a 6-pack of IPA. I would just grab a 6-pack of IPA and I would chug it down before I even got home. And like all of them, and like all of them, bro, just to catch a little buzz. And I always tell people, I don't know. I had so much going on in life, and it's not an excuse, but I was using alcohol to deal with all the stressors that I had going.
He's using it. What happens to a lot of people that find themselves in abuse? It's an escape. He's in it and doesn't even realize. And God bless him that he figured it out. That's awesome. I want to hear more
On in life. And and there was a point where whether it was I had a bad game, and to be able to forget about that game, I come home and drink just to, everybody talking shit online, everybody just want to say this online, but drinking was a way for me to kind of escape all the bullshit and kind of just be in my own thoughts and not have to, and then wake up in the morning and my problems are still there, which is crazy. But at the time I thought I would wake up in the morning and all my problems would be gone. And so it was crazy that little cycle went on for a while. And I always tell people we lost to Houston, and I don't know if you remember that playoff game. We played them and went to overtime. And 2017, no 2018, 2019. Fuck, 2019. We go to Houston. We play Houston.
Oh yeah.
In Houston, we go to overtime. We call a blitz. Call a cover 1 blitz, but for some
Somebody
reason
got there.
the 2 people got there,
And
and
then
we basically were in cover 0 because they both blitzed. 2 people got there. Deshaun spun out, threw it to Tyrone Jones on the sideline. He ran up the sideline. But that game right there, like that shit hurt, bro. Like that shit, like that. Besides that Chiefs game, like that probably was the worst loss I've had in a long time. And so what I do at the end of the season. You know, our season's over. I felt like I didn't play that well. And from there until, I made that post, I drank every single day. And to the point where, my wife almost left me, threatened to, take the kids.
Wow.
And, she used to pour all the alcohol out of the house so that I couldn't have it or I couldn't find it. But we lived in this house that had this wine cellar, and we bought it with the wine cellar, and the wine cellar had all the wine still in it, and it had been there for like 2 years, and I hadn't even opened it since we'd been in there until she poured out all the alcohol that I couldn't find anymore. And so I was the only one that knew where the key
Got
was.
a real one, bro.
I know she is.
Wow.
Got a real one.
She definitely is. She's dealt with a lot. And so she poured it all out. Basically, threatening me like, look, I'm gonna leave if you can't figure this shit out. I was the only one that knew where the key was to the wine cellar, and I always tell people that my whole mindset changed with 2 incidents. The first incident was I was drinking the wine, some nasty ass, cheap ass fucking wine, just to get drunk in the middle
Cooking
of the
wine
day.
and shit.
Good. He wanted to feel sexy. Too sexy for it.
What kind was it?
Dude, I honestly, I probably can't even pronounce it, let alone spell it, bro. But like,
It was nasty.
I just wanted to get, I just wanted to get a little buzz. And so there was half of the bottle left. I drank it. I started feeling, I was like, damn, it's all right. So I drank there was another bottle of the same kind, and I damn near drank the whole damn thing. And so it's probably 1:30, 2 o'clock. I'm starting to feel pretty messed up, and I'm putting my daughter down for a nap. She had to be like maybe one and a half at this time. I put her down for a nap. She wakes up 2 hours later, and it's tapping like, "Daddy, like, let's go play. Daddy, let's go play." And I couldn't move. Like I couldn't move. I was absolutely just out of my mind. I was just drunk out of my mind, and I couldn't move. I couldn't even get out of bed. So I get my phone. I call my brother. I'm like, "Hey, bro, like, I need you to come in here." And I'll never forget him coming in the room. I'm laying there, like, I need you to take Aaliyah for a couple hours, bro, because I can't right now. I'm too drunk. And but it was like, I mean, it was that moment right there where, like, handing my daughter over to, I know it's my brother, but to somebody else to have to take care of when I'm her father.
It was this coming real moment.
That really stuck with me for a long time. It was kind of made me feel like I was a shitty dad, and and that I wasn't there for her when she needed me. Like, what if she really needed that situation, and I wasn't able to be there for her. And so that incident kind of it switched, and so I decided I was going to get sober. I went to AA a couple times, and AA changed my life. It's so many stories in there that make you feel appreciative of the life that you have, because I'm sitting here drinking over stresses like losing a game or arguing with my wife or whatever it was that I was drinking for. And, there's folks in here really opening their hearts and souls to tell in their stories about, their addiction problems. And I mean,
there's some crazy stories.
I mean, it made me feel like a bitch. Like, dude, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you got a beautiful family, like, you got a nice house, like, your parents love you, like, what are you doing? Like, these people in here, they lost everything. They lost their homes. They lost their family.
They got nobody, bro.
Nobody. But then you see how strong they are, talking about how, like, okay, well, now I'm 20 years sober. After all that, and I'm like, wow, like you are going through that, but you could still come out on top. So that gave me the motivation to stop drinking. So I stopped drinking on March 16th.
I mean, wow, guys, what a story, right? Like, and that's exactly what institutions like AA and NA are for, is to hopefully jog, have some calm that. And I'm so happy to hear, that he's conquered this demon and is man enough to say it, to have the responsibility to, pay it forward in that way. And we all deserve the best. You deserve the best version of yourself if you're having problems. And to real talk, again, if you can talk to El Capitan, if you're watching, you want to talk about something like this, you can always reach out, always ask for help, and you deserve the best version of yourself as well. And it's just a heartwarming story. It's hard to talk about, and it's good for him to talk from a man in his position to show people that they're not alone. It's great.
March 13th, 2020. 2020. And then so I wasn't actually going to come out and tell I was not actually going to come out and tell people that I had stopped drinking. I didn't want people to even know that I was alcoholic, really.
Right.
I'm sitting in my computer one day and I'm reading an ESPN article, and you probably know who he was. Vincent Jackson, receiver for the Bucks. So I grew up watching him. He was one of my favorite players growing up watching.
Yeah,
him.
Vince Jackson, the man.
He passed away.
Yeah, I remember
in the hotel
that
room up in Tampa. The year after, it was in February where I saw this article. So it was the year after. I had been sober for 11 months now. Right. And as I'm reading the article, his mom made a quote about how alcohol played a big part of his life, prior to his death. Whether or not that had to do with his death or not was irrelevant. It was just the fact that it, prior to his death, that it played a part of his. And inside, I crushed, because he had a family, he had kids, and part of me just wished that I had, whether I had spoken out earlier, whether I had reached out to him and said, hey, dude, like, you're not alone in this, bro. Like, I'm going through the same shit. Like, if you need someone to talk to, if you need some help, like, holla at me. Maybe that little situation could have helped. But then that motivated me to want to, share my story and be able to, whether it was I touched one person or 50, I just wanted people to be able to relate and let them know that
that's what it's all about right there, man. That's amazing.
Even that, people see us as like
gladiators,
superhuman, like superhuman.
Oh my
like,
God, man, it's crazy
going on. And like, I wanted
exactly what I said.
To come out and be vulnerable so that people could relate to me, and it was crazy because even there were, how many athletes are out there that actually have these issues. And I had hockey players, I had
there's a pressure on these people that know that too. You know what I'm saying? They know that they're viewed as the superhuman, and so when they're in this dark place, the shame starts to overtake them, and so it also fuels the addiction, and it can spiral. And the only way for people to not feel that shame is, especially for football, for the sake of the argument, is for people like Poyer to bring it out into the open.
I had rugby players from Australia, after seeing the post, write me, thanking me, saying, "Hey, dude, like, I saw your post and like that really helped."
Bro, that's
me.
a huge step, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't know what you did, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think he realizes what he did.
Appreciate you.
In some ways,
doing that, dog. And that made me even more of a fan for you, even more of a fan of you, dog. Because I feel like everybody has a purpose in life, dog. And like your purpose, was to, share your story, let people know what you went through in your life, be vulnerable in that moment, and then you conquered it, dog. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, bro. And
I'll tell you what. I expected to see a lot out of Tyreek Hill's podcast, and Julius is a big surprise to me. I think I've always said this before, Color, him and not knowing who he is, and him as a character or a co-host, whatever you want to say, big surprise. But this conversation, another big surprise. Didn't know what the show was going to be, but they're talking about real stuff here, man, in a very opening way that I think is going to impact a lot. Color, what do you think?
Yeah, I just kind of came in to say that, I think it's very admirable that even in his drunken stupor, he had enough clarity to not compound the situation and put aside his embarrassment to call his brother to look after his daughter. I think that's admirable, and it needs to be recognized, because I think a lot of people end up compounding those mistakes. Bad situation, yes, but we don't want to hear another bad story on the news about some young innocent person that was affected by that. And I think putting aside his embarrassment and doing what he needed to do for his daughter,
it's the harder thing to do. It's the hard route to take.
That needs to be commended, because people don't need to be afraid to do that.
Yeah.
So
it's it's definitely the hard route to take, and you know, it's what an interview, man. I wasn't expecting all this. You know what I'm saying? As far as the interview, it's very amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done.
Yeah, very.
I'm gonna drop back now. I'm kind of my voice.
Yeah,
is
I
kinda
got you.
going.
I got you, buddy.
You know, like I said, if it was just one person or 50 people, you know, that's all I just wanted to help. And like I said, like people think we're gladiators, and you know, now you're able to be vulnerable, and you know, people appreciate that. And
Yeah.
you know, I like talking and having conversations with people about their stories, and you know, it makes me feel good that I'm helping them. You know, and so it's also helped my sobriety, because you know, obviously there's some days where I do feel worse than others when, you know, around people that are drinking. You know, I was at a dinner the other night, and you know, everybody's drinking at the dinner, you know, and I'm there with my coffee, and so you know, there's still moments, but those moments, I'm able to stay motivated because of the people that I'm able to help. You know, they look at me and they see me as like, hey, you know, yeah, you know, I can relate to you, and you know, thank you for your story, and so that motivates me to want to stay sober and want to continue to, you know, use my platform that I built through this beautiful game of football and this life, and continue to help people, because that's going to continue to go after football too. You know, perspective, football doesn't last forever. You know
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see, you know, where he takes this. You know, maybe an ambassador. I don't want to like poster child it or anything like that, but definitely seems like he's gonna, you know, do everything in his power to partake in helping people's mental health in that way. This is not the interview I was expected, but I am pleasantly surprised with the real world honest conversation that they're having right now. It's really, really great.
Y'all know that, man. So with that being said, dog, I just want to say shout out to you, man. We're gonna
Appreciate
move on
you.
from that, dog.
Wow.
Because people view you guys as superhuman, right?
Right.
How tough is it to take care of your family, all of this, do all of this, play, and still have to own your own shit as a man? I think that's very important, because you have to. I got to own my shit. You got to own your shit. You got to own your shit.
Right.
That's the only way you move forward, right? So I was going to follow up question to him, to asking like, how tough was that for you to have to really just look yourself in the mirror and own your own shit and not hide anymore?
It was extremely hard, because I was so scared, and I was so scared of what people were going to think about me. And it got to the point where I just didn't give a damn anymore. And
There
I
you
feel
go.
like, you know, my wife's
Only
big on
true
social media, and
freedom.
she's allowed me to kind of learn a little bit through her. Like, to me, social media is not really real. It's a lot of people out there just saying stuff to say
Facts.
stuff, whatever. But you know, what's real is like your actions, and how you go about your business, and you know, what you do. You know, what you say is irrelevant to me, and so it's all
Wow.
about what you do, and staying true to what you do. And so yeah, it was extremely hard for me to take that step and to be vulnerable like that. But at the same time, like, you know, I've listened to hundreds of motivational speakers, Inky Johnson, Eric Thomas, and they always talk about, you know, the people are so held back because they're scared to take that step. They're scared of failure. They're scared of what's going to happen, or they're scared, you know, for whatever reasons. It's fear. You know, there's a
Yeah.
fear block in our brain that doesn't allow us to see past it. And so
Paralyzes
I was
you.
able to, you know, find it within me, and it's changed my entire life. It's changed my perspective on life. It's changed the way I think. And I was able to take that step over that line. And once I took that step, you know, I was so thankful that I did, because it's opened up so many doors for me. And it's allowed me to, you know, to believe in myself, really, not even just in that, just like, you know, in football, in life, like, just take the step, you know, whether if you're doubting yourself, if you're, no, fuck that, like, take the step, and you look back later, and you see what happened. That's how, you know, just changed my whole perspective like that.
So it's safe to say you owning your own shit made you a better husband, better father, better leader on the football field, and a better football player, and a better son.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Now, since you stopped, you know, drinking or whatever, you know, have you seen a difference in your play?
Yeah, I have. And you know, it's crazy because you know, I wish I'm like I'm 31 now. Like, I wish I was able to play as clear as I've been playing these last 2 years, like my whole career. Like, you know, when I'm out there on the football field, you know, I feel like I'm fearless out there. I feel like I'm not scared of shit out there. Like I feel like just like it's a game, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're out there playing a game.
There you
Just go
go.
play your
He's got the
play your
right
game and trust
perspective
your
of it.
instincts, trust what's gotten you there. You know, your whole career. Like, you know, what are you? There's nothing to be scared of. I used to, bro. Like early in my career, boy, going out in them NFL games, nothing like boy out there shaking, boy.
I ain't gonna lie. Now you got offensive coordinator shaking. Boy. I ain't gonna lie. You got
for real though,
but
but like,
dude scared.
but we playing a game though. So like, and like I said, I was able to change my perspective in a lot of ways. Like it like literally out there playing a game that I love with boys that I love to play with. Like, I mean, what am I going to complain about? Like, what am I going to complain about? Like, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, you're going to learn, and you're going to move on. Like, that's just life.
It's life, man.
That's life.
Y'all go through it.
This shit ain't going to last forever. So I'm going to enjoy it in the moments that I'm in right now. And continue to take those steps of fear, of faith, and trust in myself and believe in myself. And that's how I see it.
You guys just added Von Miller, man. You know, you got to be hype about that, man. He just won a Super Bowl. Came from Denver. He was a all pro player down there, man. So you know, he definitely gonna add some tang to that defensive line, man.
Yes.
You know, so like, how do you feel about that? Like, is that gonna make y'all better? You know, I mean, obviously it's gonna make y'all better. He's a dog. So what?
Well, I ain't gonna be over here telling y'all my secrets. Our secret.
Come on, Poyer. You're telling all the secrets of the world. Tell this one.
It's gonna be an eye on you the whole game. Don't worry.
You say don't worry.
Look, you know, the addition of Von Miller plus additions that we've had, you know, added on the offensive side. You know, Crowder. You know, even the first round pick we had in Elam. We got, you know, it's a squad, man, and you know, obviously the work we still got to go put in, but you know, it's exciting to see on paper, obviously, but you know more than anybody, all that don't matter. You still got to go and put the work in. You still got to go, you know. And I always think of it like, you know, the best teams in the league don't necessarily win the Super Bowl every year. It's a team that sticks together the longest. And through adversity, through the bullshit, through the wins, through the losses, through the ups and downs of games, through the ups and downs of the season, you know, the team, and you agree with that?
I really do, man, because you guys came to KC and whooped our ass that first game, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it was like a lot of stuff going on in the building, you know, like
distractions,
players, the coaches, from staff. Like it was like a lot of BS going on, man. But you know, we were able to like stick together, you know, figure it all out as a unit. You know, and then we bounced back later in the season, dog. So I completely agree with you, dog. One moment stands out in your NFL career.
You know, that's 13 seconds. We already know that answer.
No, I'm saying that as far as a good moment. As far as a good moment.
Hey, we could put on the tape of my open field tackle against him in the championship game, AFC championship game 2 years ago. Not a lot many people are gonna make that tackle. And you got up, you said, damn. That's a good ass tackle, boy. I think you had a jet sweep on the outside. It was in Kansas City in the AFC championship game. And you ran it for like 20 yards. But
I remember.
It was on y'all sideline. Boy, I didn't know how I was gonna make that tackle, but I got his ass down. I got his ass down.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You be flying across that field, boy. I'd be like, God, slow down, bro. Like y'all be telling me to slow down. I'd be like, bro, slow down so I can run fast. So, man, how was playing with Josh Allen, man? Like I've had a chance to be around. I feel like one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes. You know, and you play with Josh Allen. You know, arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. How is he in the locker room? You know, how is his mindset during practice? And is he a leader, bro?
Oh man, just it's cool because I've been a part of Josh's career since he's came into the league, since he got drafted, and just to see where he's at now, and to see just the growth, not only just on the field is different, but just off the field as a man, as a leader in the community, dude. I mean, the guy's a superstar now, but you know, he came in and he had to take his, what do you call him? He had to take his hits. He had to take his losses. He had to, you know, he's thrown some picks that I'm sure he wishes he had back early on in his career, but all of that has helped him develop into the player that he is today. And I mean, you guys have seen it all season for the past 2 seasons.
It doesn't really matter
especially
how
this
ugly
past
it
season,
looked.
what he can do.
They're looking pretty
just
good
his
right
arm
now.
strength, his ability to run the football, and not only just run the football, he'll run you over, he'll jump
Run
over
you
you.
over, bro.
And just he's probably one of the goofiest quarterbacks in the league, but he really is just a really good, genuine dude. It's just a solid, a really good leader, and that's a cool part that I always tell people. Just his leadership qualities from when he came into the league till now. Like, he takes command. He has command of the offense. Before it was the coach telling him, hey, you got to do this. Sometimes he'll 2-minute drill, like coaches give him a call, like off coach, I'm gonna call my own stuff. Like, I love that.
That's the type of stuff I hope we see from Tua. Not to no, coach, I'm not doing that play, but just him having the, I don't know, bravado or confidence enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna call this call because I think this is gonna do it. And whether it works or doesn't, I like that attitude. You gotta have that attitude. I mean, it's a respected thing. You live and die by what you want. You do what someone else wants you to do, and it fails. You'll always wonder, did I, why didn't I do what I wanted to do? If you do what you want to do and fail, at least you did it your way. You know what I'm saying? I hope to see more of that out of Tua this year. Yeah, the swag. Good word, CB. You got to have the swag. You got to have the confidence. It's not an arrogant thing, and it's not a disrespectful thing. It's a belief in yourself is what he's talking about. I'd hoped to see Tua take that last year, but there's extenuating circumstances why he didn't. But we won't get into all that.
I love to see when quarterbacks do that.
And I think one time in the Dallas, we played Dallas 2 years ago, and that's when I knew. I was like, damn, this dude is for real. Like, Dallas 2 years ago was, I think, 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1, and they hurried to the line, and I remember the coach is trying to call a play, and Josh is like hurrying everybody to the line, and QB snuck that thing, but he got stuffed, which is crazy. QB snuck it, he got stuffed, and he just fought his big ass 260-pound for another 3 yards and got the first down, got up.
Man, a dog, bro.
Nah,
respect is earned is what he's saying.
From the Vikings his rookie year, like that. I mean, plays like that. It's cool because I get to be in the front row watching Josh Allen play. It's the Patriots game where he rolled out to the damn sideline and threw it across his body to Diggs on the damn near hit the ground, and Diggs came under it and caught it. Like, he just makes some spectacular plays, but he's a really great leader, and he wants to win. And that's a guy that I'll play for any day of the week. A guy that comes in ready to work. We compete against each other on the field. He's telling me what he sees. I'm telling him what I see. He's telling me, hey, Josh, like, don't put your eyes there because, he's going to jump it. He's going to see it, or, look off real quick, let the safety think that you're coming there and, go back to it, So it's awesome to grow with him. And it's awesome to see his growth and to see him turn into the superstar that he is.
Yeah, he definitely a dog. I definitely got to agree with that, man. Because seeing him in the playoffs last year, I was like, bro, like, how did this dude get so good?
Right.
Like, what? So he's a manimal.
So he transformed him.
Bro. When I seen him run over our linebacker, bro, I knew it was over with, bro. Like, we just need to have we just need to have D tackles at linebacker.
Facts.
When the quarterback start running over folks,
Too big, bro. He's just too big.
He's
bro.
a big. That man's a house. It's all right.
So you going in
Tyndall and
year
Phillips
10.
gonna
What's
handle
your
that.
favorite moment? I want to talk about a Jordan Tyreek Hill. What's your favorite matchup moment with Tyreek Hill?
Good question.
Matchup moment
Great
with Tyreek.
question.
We know it's not. We know it's not the 13 seconds.
It's not. I mean,
We're gonna keep beating that in your head.
I know what he's
We
gonna say. I almost ran him down.
I almost ran him down though. I had a cool angle, but like I maybe took one more step. I might have been able to clip it, but like it looks dope on tape because you see Tyreek running.
You clipped me.
Yeah.
I did clip him, huh?
You clipped me.
I clipped him. I see Tyreek running by himself, and then shit, here comes 2-1 out the screen. I clipped him though. He still got another 10 yards after that. But nah, I mean, dude, probably the shittiest moment, dude. This dude caught the dig over the middle in the playoff game, bro. And it was me and him. We were playing 2-man, and he ran that dig, bro. And I think the corner fell down after he tried to make the tackle, and you caught it on the hash. And Dude, I don't know. I didn't know what the fuck he was gonna do. I tried to take it inside. I tried to take like a banana angle to fucking like round it off, and then next thing you know, we're running for like another 10 yards. I'm like, where the fuck is that? Where everybody at? Where everybody at? But I thought you was gonna try to stick your foot in the ground and try to come inside. But like I said, bro, you can't make false steps against you, bro, because you know,
Gonna
next
make you
thing
pay.
you out. The worst is like when he catches the ball like a hitch or something, and he squares up all 11 players on defense. Like he catches that bitch and he just turns around, squares everybody up. You know he finna try to
Bro.
get him.
That moment happened so fast for me, bro. Like, only thing I remember was just coming back to the sideline. Coach Reed was like, "Bro, that was the fastest I ever seen you running in my
Hell
whole
yeah.
entire life. Like,
Skating.
you've been here for 6 years, and that's the fat." I'm like, "Dang, Coach, I done got fat, bro. Like, I wasn't even running fast though."
Got a little
You
extra
ever caught
heart
him?
in that one.
Yeah, I made a good tackle on him in the AFC Championship
Yep.
last year.
You tackled me there, and then also during the regular season, during the run play, I was in the backfield. I had kind of broke out, and I tried to like spin off you. And then
Oh, I got you there too.
got me,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
I was like, bro, why didn't
Wow.
I was so hot at myself, man. But yeah, this dude, he a dog, bro. Like when I say like relentless, every play, like running fast. As a safety, man, you got to be like a bullet. This dude like a bullet. I'm telling you. Like, and our offensive means, man. Our offensive coordinator used to say to our offensive line, y'all need to bury his little ass. Y'all need to bury his little ass. I'm tired of seeing his little ass flying across the field.
That's
and I'd
funny.
be right there beside him, bury him, because
That's
I'm tired
funny.
of running, trying to avoid him.
That's funny as
It's
shit.
crazy, man. They be
All right, so Jordan Tyreek.
A lot of
game one that
respect
you guys
between,
met up, right? Which game you guys played
players
last
here.
Regular
It's a
season,
really
right?
good-
regular season. Yeah, last season. What was I'll go with Tyreek first. What was the game plan, knowing that you guys had to, face the Bills, knowing that Jordan was on the other side of that ball? What was the game plan? What was going on?
Well, like we already know, like Buffalo Bills we're going to be a
Julius
tough opponent.
killing
bro.
it with the
Like,
freaking
every time they come
questions,
to
man.
KC or we go to Buffalo, it's going to be a Wild West match every time, bro.
Right.
No, it's going to be guns out to the end of the game, man. So our game plan was just basically, come out, attack fast, and score every possession. Early, I'm talking about score every possession. It can be 7, it can be 3, whatever the case may be. We got to get points some kind
Yeah.
of way, dog, because we know on the other side of the ball, they got a dog too, Josh Allen. So we got to try to keep him off the field and have long drives, and man, like just like Jordan said earlier on in the show, everything isn't gonna go your way, bro.
Right.
Like those guys are professional athletes, just like we are professional athletes. Those guys grind just like we grind, So like a lot of things didn't see eye to eye in the building, and a lot of people, I just don't want to say we're going through some things, So they beat our ass. They beat our ass, man. They beat our ass, dog. And it was very embarrassing. I know, and I play football. I'm not a crier after a game. I don't cry. I've never cried in a day in my life. But that was one of those moments where I was like, bro, like, I really want to fuck somebody up right now. Like crying though. You know how you cry when you're mad? Like it was one of those moments, like one of the moments, man. But yeah, man.
On the opposite side of the ball with the Bills, what was you guys' game plan? Because we see the reports, we hear the offensive coordinators and head coaches talk about game planning for Tyreek. Not to toot his horn, but we hear that all the time, right? They get asked that question.
Not to toot his
horn.
horn.
How do you game plan for Tyreek? How do you game plan for Tyreek? So in those meetings,
It's
and
his
the
show.
mentality leading up into it, what was it?
Yeah, I want to hear, how do y'all game plan for Kelsey, me, Pat, and yeah.
You just want me to come out here and tell all our secrets,
Damn, bro.
I mean, you ain't got to give us the whole thing. Like, we not recording anything.
To be honest, though,
We ain't recording
that
anything.
week, boys was locked in though. Like, I mean, we locked in. We feel like we locked in every week, but we had lost y'all in the AFC Championship game the year before. We probably had this game circled on our schedule for a while. It's you guys have won the Super Bowl the year before, and so we,
real quick, and I'll start it up again. I wonder if, listen, everyone credits them losing the AFC game this past year to that Tyreek Hill play. Dolphins in division circling it, but are they circling it with marker because Tyreek Hill's on there and they want to make an example, quote unquote, Not that the Bills are ever taking it easy on the Dolphins, but I think there's a lot of players on the Bills that are like, we're gonna not only get the Dolphins, we're gonna get Tyreek, and we're gonna go for a twofer. So, I mean, I always expect the Bills' best, but they're going to give an extra best, having it circled early in the season. It's been circled on the schedule. You know what I'm saying?
Wanted to beat the defending champs. And so we came in there. We had a really, I think the biggest thing is being able to trust the plan and execute the plan. And we have really good coaches in Buffalo, and obviously really good players as well. And so, we really trusted the plan, and I feel like we executed it to a T. It was really, obviously you can't give up big plays to Tyreek. Being able to handle explosive plays, whether that's in the jet sweep game, whether that's him in the backfield, if I can get in the ball, or him running now screens, or him just running fucking bang posts in the middle of the field. You can't let him get behind the defense. And then, obviously you got to account for Kelsey as well. And then you not even just account for Kelsey. They got I think, who was it?
Miko.
You got Miko over there, and then you got obviously one of the best quarterbacks in the game that you got to account for. So it's like I said earlier, there's not very many teams or players that you look at and say like, dang, like we have to play perfect to beat them. But the Chiefs, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, those are teams that you go into the week, like, hey, like we have to play.
You got to be dialed in,
and it's not to put any pressure on you. It's just
man, I can't wait for that to be the case with the Dolphins. That people are thinking, man, we're going against the Dolphins this week. We got to be dialed in. Because of our offense. I know teams have been, getting dialed in because of our defense. I want teams to be, worried about minding their P's and Q's because of this offense. Tyreek Hill does that for us, but we need the offense as a whole to make that happen as well.
Understand what you have to do in order to beat, a team like Kansas City, or a guy like Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. This is what has to happen, and you got to be able to trust that game plan. You got to be able to go out there and execute it. So that's what we did that game. It was a little different than the following game. Plus, you guys turned the ball over, I think 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
Greg had a pick. So I had sprained my ankle 10 days before that game. I had a high ankle sprain, and that was obviously the game that I was circled on my damn schedule. So I missed the Houston game. And then we played on a Thursday night.
It was a night game.
Yeah, we played on a Thursday night. And I came back, and it was crazy. I mean, I played almost damn near on a high ankle sprain. But we played mistake free. They made some mistakes, and that's the name of the game. Turnovers. Find a way, and we scored on defense too. So anytime you're able to score on defense, it gives your team that much more chances to win the game. And so it wasn't necessarily something that. It was a good football game.
I feel like I gave Micah a free one.
You did.
I gave him a free one, bro. Like,
you did. It kind of hit you in the back. And
it's all right, though. I'm supposed to catch it. I'm a pro athlete. I'm supposed to catch the ball, man.
He kind of threw a little behind you, though.
It's all right.
Don't say that on here.
I'm not finna say nothing
say
crazy.
Here, George.
It was a good ball. All the Chiefs fans, it was a good ball.
Jordan.
It was a good ball.
Great pass. It was a great pass.
I'm not being sarcastic either. So
clip this, Chief fans. You know you're going.
You done did it, Jordan. You done did it.
See,
You done did it.
Look, I'm finna get left threats again. Like,
You said it was behind you. No, I didn't. Jordan said it. So okay, you guys kicked, as Tyreek said, y'all kicked their ass the first game.
ass, bro.
Then something happened. All right. What happened the next time you guys met? Defensive scheme, was it the same? Did they change it up? It didn't work in the end, but
we changed some things up. Dude, they just absolutely played better. Their offense played better than our defense that game. You look back at it, we gave up too many big plays. We didn't tackle well. We didn't execute well. Even
making no excuses about it. Gotta respect it.
Things that you can point out at the end. They were the better team than us that night, and we felt good about our game plan coming in. We felt good about the matchups that we had. We felt good coming into the game, but at the end of the day, they made more plays than us, and ultimately made one bigger play than us, 2 bigger plays than us. And that's how it ended, man. It was just it's a tough one. Still all it up, still still in the back of the head. But like I said, that's fueled me all off season, dude. I'm not saying Tyreek's the boogeyman or anything, but I wake up with that energy, with that mindset. Like, look, you got to pass, you got to get over that hump. If you want, I want to. We're all in it to get a ring.
Sure, man.
if that's the motivation that you need. That's the motivation you got to use. And so it's hot as hell down here in Florida. We get up, we go out there to train, and so it's those moments, where it's hot as hell. Maybe you don't want to do the next rep, but shit, you got to get over that hump.
You got to get it, man.
And Tyreek on the offensive end.
Oh, for the Chiefs,
was it the South Georgia? You kicked my ass the first time, you won't do it the second time.
Man, yeah, exactly. It was one of those moments, man. Like, you may beat me the first time, but the second time, I'm coming back even stronger, bro. But nah, it was just one of the moments, man, where like our offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, like he's a madman, dog. He like was cussing us out all week, saying these MFs, y'all let these MFs come in here and whoop y'all like that. Like, come on, man, y'all gotta have some respect on y'all name in this building, this organization and stuff like that. And like I can just sense in the guys' eyes and hearts, and I just felt the energy. Like guys like really took that and like ran with it the whole week. Like practice was perfect, no drops. Like during the whole week, defense was flying around. Everybody was doing what they were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And we all were on the same page. So we go out and we play, man, and we playing for each other. 13 seconds to go, man. Let's do or die. Right. Me, Pat, and Kelsey, we come up together, dog. We like, bro, we ain't going home, bro. Right. I refuse to go home. Right. Like we all saying that with 13 seconds to go. Mm-hmm. Everybody else on the sideline stressing because they just gave up like a touchdown. We like, bro, just chill, bro. Mm-hmm. Just chill, bro. You got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Mm-hmm. You got a tight end who can make plays. You got me and other weapons out there, man. So like, ain't no need to stressing, man. Because if you stress it, it's gonna make it worse. Right. Then guys get
start overthinking,
timid, and start panicking and dropping the ball and shit.
Yeah.
Bye, baby. So Jordan, man, I just want to say thank you so much for doing this, man. I'm always be a fan of you, man. But just know on Sundays.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all for having me on, though. For real, feel extremely blessed to be here. Like I said earlier, this is a really cool experience, and I appreciate Julius and Tyreek for having me on here.
Oh man, big ups to you for being allowing yourself to be vulnerable, right?
Yeah,
and also being an ass kicker on that field.
Yes, sir.
Because a lot of people don't think the two go together, but they really do to complete the man. Right. So that. Congrats to you, bro.
I appreciate that. For
right. I just want to close with this. Chiefs fans, I did not say that. That was a perfect.
Man, dude, what a show. All success to, Jordan Poyer in every way except for twice against the Dolphins and the third time when we see in the playoffs. Great, him allowing himself to show his vulnerability is a strong thing to do. People who can't recognize that, have some personal problems they need to deal with. So, but man, what a different show. I wasn't expecting all that. I watched a little bit of it before I came on, just listening to it. Didn't watch it, just listening, because I was so excited. But I always stop. I don't want to watch all of it. I want to have some live reaction. I had no idea about his alcoholism. I didn't even know. Again, forgive my ignorance. I didn't see the tweet and didn't know that. But him being vulnerable and opening himself up, that was really cool. And then freaking Tyreek Hill and Julius Collins, you're just killing it, dude, with the interviews. Julius breaking it down in this way where, it's kind of an uncomfortable conversation. You're talking about this guy and this guy. When did he beat you and you beat him? Like, you got to kind of, but it was an adult conversation. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of just taken back a little bit by the whole deal. So, wow, we're going to have more and more great shows from these guys. It's a hit. I would say up to this point, it already was a hit, but with in-depth conversations like the one he had today and real world stuff outside of football, that was what I was hoping for the most, to to understand the person, the human, not just the athlete, not the superhero. And they're breaking some barriers here on this, as do other people, in their own way. Shout out to like Pat McAfee, who's a player who does it. He's a little bit more to how I design my kind of stuff, a little bit more comedy. It makes things a little bit lighter and easier, but the seriousness in which they're taking it at times, it's got to be applauded and respected and, loved, because it's good stuff, man. That's really, really good stuff. I'm gonna go back and watch that again, and I suggest, even though I broke it down with you guys, I suggest you guys go back and listen again, because there's some real world, real life wisdom being doled out in there, and you should partake if you can. So that was pretty dope. With that, guys, make sure to hit the like button. We passed the hour mark. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. Hit the subscribe button. Donate to the channel if you can. Cash App, Venmo, also through Super Chat. We always appreciate all the donations. Make sure to catch Talk 7 TMI Tuesdays live around 9 or 10 with Color on there, co-hosted with him. You guys can catch Color again doing late night color commentary on Thursdays, popping up during the day. Just make sure to hit the notification bell to catch all the good action. Saturdays is Late Night Exhale with Ali. We won't get him this Saturday, but he'll be back around again, to fill back in. He's got some family stuff, doing the family thing. Got to respect it. El Capitan, myself, TFTG. I'm going to do everything I can to give you guys as much content as possible. Fanatics link is in the description. Please, guys, hit the link in the description. If you're buying any gear, it helps us with, our partnership with them. Also, some of our swag, if you will be so kind to represent. Get yourself a hat, get yourself a flag, get yourself a beanie early before it gets cold while it's so hot. And then another thing, guys, Backroom Collections, link is in the description. Check out their site, hit the link, check it out. Use offer code #TFTG to get 10% off all your purchases. So, man, I gotta decompress after all that. I didn't know what to expect. I did expect, some banter, some shit talk in a fun way, and we got some of that. The real life conversation, the eye opener, was golden, very golden. And you got to respect what Julius and Tyreek are doing with that program, that they're opening up a platform to go in every which way, hype, shit talking, but also some real deal life problems and a real story. And I respect Jordan Poyer for putting his heart out on his sleeve when that's the hard thing to do, but it's always the right thing to do. And people are always going to be jealous or envious, and that's what they got to do, man. That's their stuff. Hey Pamela, how's it going? That's their stuff. They project, they might have something else going on in their life, and sometimes you gotta let people punch to blow off some steam. We kind of do that around here too. Sometimes it gets a little off the rails, but gotta show some love. Gotta just be respectful in that way. So, all right, guys, we've also got this other article I picked up from the Miami Herald from Barry Jackson. And I haven't looked at it, but it is about Teddy Bridgewater. It's titled "What Dolphins Are Getting in Bridgewater and Where He Ranked Amongst the League's Best in 2021." So the article is, this offseason, we've served up pieces and tidbits on Dolphins free agents pickups: Chase Edmonds, Cedric Wilson, Teron Armstead, Tyreek Hill, Connor Williams, Raheem Moser. In part 7 of a 7 series, some chatter on the Dolphins are getting with new backup quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, who will make at least $6.5 million in 2022, with incentives to make up to $10 million. Bridgewater, who will will be the backup, but declined to acknowledge that publicly in his one media availability. Had a higher passer rating last season than most players you'd expect to be a backup quarterback this season, with Gardner Minshew and Nick Foles among the those ahead of them in that statistic. Here's what former Broncos coach Vic Fangio described Bridgewater's best strengths. Teddy has good quarterback awareness and instincts. I think it's shown in the way he can move within the pocket to buy time in that way. There are also two types of elusive quarterbacks. One that runs around and then others that manipulate the pocket to buy time. The best at that in the past 20 years has been Tom Brady, and Teddy has got a little bit of that in him. End quote from Vic Fangio. Oops. Sorry about that. Though Bridgewater 29 has morphed from starter to top backup far earlier in his career than likely he would have expected, keep in mind that he's 16th all-time among active quarterbacks with a 90.7 passer rating, which is very respectable. His 94.9 passer rating last season was 12th best in the league for players who started at least 8 games. That's more than fifth. What's more, he's 5th in the NFL completion percentage among active quarterbacks. At 66.5. Tua is one spot behind him. They didn't give his pass rating. His numbers are better than Tua's last season, though that's not relevant to the Dolphins, who are committed to Tua as their starter. Bridgewater started 14 games for Denver last season, went 7-7, finished with 18 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 3,052 yards, averaging 218 yards a game, and a 94.9 pass rating. Tua, who started 12 games, went 7-5, finished with 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 2,653 yards, with an average of 204 yards per game, with a passer rating of 90.1. Bridgewater had a better offensive line and much better running game than Tagovailoa at his disposal to add context. Bridgewater has thrown interceptions on only 2.2% of his career passes, which ranks him 19th best all time according to footballdb.com. Tagovailoa is at 2.2%, so it's the same. Bridgewater's deep ball, however, isn't a strength, and I think we all know that. It's not like he doesn't have deep ball arm and a rocket of an arm. And I'll add a little context. He leaves meat on the bone, and he obviously doesn't trust his arm, because you could see where guys are getting loose in the back end, and he chooses the check down. Now, not that check downs are terrible all the time, but I can think of times where he should have put it out there. I just don't know if he can. He completed only 16 of 52 passes thrown with at least 20 air yards last season for 489 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. That's 30.8% accuracy on his deep balls, was among the worst in starters, better than only Trevor Lawrence, Ben Roethlisberger, Jared Goff, and Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold is what he is. Trevor Lawrence was a rookie. Ben Roethlisberger, was on his worst. He was just a shell of himself as a passer and a quarterback last year. Jared Goff. He's playing on the Lions. I'm sure there's context to that. So Tagovailoa didn't throw a lot of deep balls. He was second in the league, narrowly behind Justin Herbert in completion percentage on passes that traveled 20 air yards at 48.3%, 14 of 29 with 526 yards. Pro Football Focus assessed him this way. Bridgewater and I quote from Pro Football Focus, Bridgewater has shown he is capable of starting and playing well in the NFL, but also that there's a ceiling to his play and a conservative streak to his passing that limits his effectiveness. That's a great way to put it. There's a conservative nature in how he plays the game, which, no risk it, no biscuit in that way. He isn't likely to take a team all the way to the Super Bowl, but he can back up the player who does or keep the seat warm for a younger player in the meantime. An accurate passer who teammates and coaches love, and everybody knows that. Teddy Bridgewater is beloved by all that encounter him. Bridgewater is a viable starter, but nothing more. Any team chasing better than that view of him as a backup or a stopgap. Any team chasing better than that will view him as a backup or stopgap. All right. It's a weird sentence. Bridgewater is only 2 years removed from signing a 3-year deal worth $63 million with Carolina. And PFF said that he has been more consistent behind a better Broncos offensive line. Damn, I forgot that he signed a $63 million deal with Carolina. What the hell? Still getting some of that nookie, I would imagine. PFF cites his strengths as accuracy and leadership and weakness as lack of big-time throws. That's easy to say. He played in only 5 games with Minnesota in 2017, and 5 games with New Orleans in 2018 because of major knee surgery. But oddly, he has been statistically better since he had the knee injury. He missed the final 3 games last season with a concussion. Damn, he missed 3 games with a concussion? I didn't know it was a concussion. It kept out 3 games. One common thread between last year's backup Jacoby Brissett and Bridgewater is their close personal relationship with former Dolphins executive and Hall of Fame coach Bill Parcells. My mentor, Bridgewater, called Parcells. He texted me after a game lost in September, and he was like, "Man, don't take the cheese. It's poison. It's rat poison." Those are consistent reminders to stay grounded, respect the game, and continue to work hard. Parcells told the Minneapolis Star-Tribune last year that Bridgewater is a team player, and that's what every team needs. Broncos general manager George Patton, who ultimately decided to replace Bridgewater with Russell Wilson in a clear upgrade, said last summer that Bridgewater has won everywhere he's been. Obviously, Carolina was a tough spot for him. He's a winner. He's 33 of 30 as an NFL starter. Bridgewater was among the NFL's best quarterbacks under pressure last season, according to PFF. So that's an upgrade over Brissett, who struggled under pressure. Tagovailoa avoided a lot of sacks while under pressure, but produced a poor passer rating under those circumstances. Per PFF, Bridgewater had an 89.9 rating under pressure, second behind only Joe Burrow amongst NFL starters. He had 7 touchdowns and 1 interception while he was under pressure. Brissett, conversely, he had 61.5 passer rating under pressure with 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Tagovailoa was at 54.8% under pressure. Was a 54.8 passer rating while under pressure with 3 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. The Dolphins allowed a league high 247 quarterback pressures last season. So that is some interesting statistics there. Something to think about with that whole scenario. I don't know. Pressures and getting it to the check down man and doing right and buying time. We know that Teddy Bridgewater can do that. I think, again, we know where Teddy's ceiling is. And he has a well enough floor to do the job that needs to be done. We got to see what Tua can do. You know what I'm saying? But I think at the same time, it's a perfect fit to bring Bridgewater in as a potential placeholder if Tua has to miss some time in a game for whatever reason, or miss a game because he got nicked up or something like that. I don't want to see Bridgewater in healthy doses. You know, I want to see Tua. I got to see what I got there. Yeah, Pamela. He's proven that. I mean, he could be a quarterback one, just not for me. You know what I'm saying? If this was 2019 and we blew the team up and we're bringing him in there to stay competitive and everything like that, then yeah, he's a QB1. But he's definitely, there's no building to a future with Teddy. But I don't want to say that either. You know, I don't know. It's definitely an odd conversation to have because I don't necessarily want to dog Bridgewater or anybody, but I gotta know, I gotta have answers to Tua right now. We need it. We need to know if he's not the guy, then he's not the guy. But we got to give him every opportunity. This goes back to what I was saying earlier about Mike Gesicki. I don't want to get rid of Mike Gesicki because I want Tua to have everything at his disposal. I don't want any excuses. If he makes it, great. If he doesn't, I don't want, you know, whether it's fans, organization, whomever, to pile up all these excuses and say, yeah, well, it wasn't fair to him. That's not fair to me. That's not fair to us, you know, to lie, pretty much. You know, everybody has a hard go of it. I'm not saying that we need to be insensitive to their hard times, but don't feed me excuses, bro. We need results around here. This fan base deserves some wins. So I know, Pamela. Yeah, trading Gesicki is just dumb. And there's no, unless again, if someone gives you a first round draft pick for him, then okay, maybe that's what you want to do. But we need to keep these weapons for this team. There's too much riding on it right now. We got to know coach and quarterback. Got to give it the good old college try. So, yeah. Color, what do you think? You back there, Color? I don't know. Color might not be back there. Irving, you gonna spit some facts? All right, I wasn't planning on opening up the panel, but I'll open it up for a little bit, guys. I'm not gonna go too late. I gotta get up early in the morning and do a bunch of stuff. But I'll go ahead and drop the link. Everybody can hop up here. We'll chitter chatter, pitter patter here for a minute. So if you guys want to come up and discuss a little bit, you know, about the last article or the Mike Gesicki talk, or, you know, Tyreek Hill interview with Jordan Poyer and Julius Collins in there co-hosting like a freaking champ, just driving that ship, man. There's something to learn. If you guys want to do some good interviewing and learn about interviewing, you should watch that guy. He's definitely doing something right. It's pretty good. Let's see here. I'll read that last part again. PFF graded Bridgewater 89.5 rating under pressure, second behind only Joe Burrow amongst all starters. He had 7 touchdowns and 1 interception under pressure. Brissett had 61.5 rating under pressure with 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Tagovailoa had 54.8 under pressure with 3 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. So I'm pretty sure every team that we're going to go against knows this from the film. And so I would expect that they need to realize that they're going to do what they can to not allow Tua to feel comfortable. And we need to combat that in every way possible, man. So, what's up, Willie? What's going on, homie? So yeah, we gotta combat that with everything we can. We gotta give to it what he needs to hopefully feel comfortable early on, and then when the struggles come of mid-season, you know, people start figuring out what you're doing and things like that, he can grow. Hopefully we see a lot of growth out of Tua, the quarterback, passing the ball, operating, you know, the scheme to efficiency. Again, like I said earlier, I want to see him go, I'm changing the play right now. This is what I want. I think this is going to work. And it's not to be disobedient. I think it was you, Sal, that said that. It's to be, I'm going to be right. So, you know, but, yeah, guys, you know, it's a lot riding on this season. There's going to be some other stuff coming up here directly. We're going to be doing the rookie mini camp soon, then the veterans mini camp. Got some good stuff planned for you guys here on the show and the network. Some videos going to come out. It's going to be great. But I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to shut her down. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, subscribing. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, you know, come on over here to YouTube, hit the like button and subscribe over here on YouTube. Much appreciated. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll try to get during the day and stuff like that. I wanted to bring this on and watch the video with you guys. I didn't plan on doing a show tonight. Just wanted to, and saw that come out and figured it'd be great to watch. Why am I going to watch it and not watch it with you, you know? So make sure you, again, guys, hit the like button. Shout out to all the members to the channel. Shout out to the mods. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.